Hey guys, what's going on? It's Doc here with the Cult for Tax Purposes. In this video, I thought I would get together some really good tips of some multiplayer maps, running down the best peaks, best angles to work through. Recently, I've actually gotten back into some competitive play, and I've been playing with Max, some other guys, and I just thought I would be able to come on this video and teach you guys some great angles, some great routes on some multiplayer maps. So if you do like this content right here and you want some more, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you will know exactly when we post our next video. Now, why don't we get into it? All right, so let's start off here with Nuketown. So Nuketown is a small map, but it could be considered as like a 3-lane type of map. Each side has their really own specific angles and peaks that we could use. But we're gonna start off here with some cheeky little peaks that we could get. So let me pick up somebody else's gun. Okay, we got RPD. Oh, good God. All right, so coming off here on this right side, this Jeep over here, obviously, if you remember old Nuketown, is a great peak. Now, a way to change this up is what I do a lot in multiplayer, is I'll kill a couple guys over here this first time, and then I'll actually tighten it up closer to this fence. So that way you can see them always coming out of their spawn. You could kind of see a little bit of inside the door and also up top. On the right side of the map, this car over here, and there's actually a little spot inside of this fence that's kind of a little like crevice to where you could fit into. That is another good spot to be in, because one, it kind of gives you a little bit of cover, but also easily you could get bum rush. So right here, I kind of have cover from that right side peak. I could peek out whenever, and I could see almost all the way over to the left side of the map here. As for up here in the windows, they're good, but you're not going to be able to stand up here for too long, just because there's always going to be someone on the other side, or there's going to be people that are sneaking up behind you like these bots are doing right now. So I mean, if you want to get a nice little quick kill streak, maybe like a 4 or 5, and then you're going to be able to move around and go to some of these other spots we're talking about here. But definitely, this is a cheeky spot that some people won't expect. Now, as for starting off the game, something that I love to do to get like the first couple kills is I'll run, say I spawn over here, I will run out to the mid portion of the map, and I'll just be able to stare at people down that doorway. And typically they're going to be running through and looking to get towards mid because they're playing aggressive or whatever it may be. But yeah, no, they always will either be coming through this garage, or if we're on the other side over here, you'll be able to see straight through the door and be able to take out maybe 2, 3. This garage right here, using cover, I kind of like to split it a little bit and not be too exposed, just because it's if you're standing in the entrance, like in the wide open right here, you're leaving this all open, and you have way more of yourself exposed to the garage people on the opposite side of the map. So if you want to use this peak, kind of stand in like the back right corner, and you get this really nice peak where it's kind of hard to see you, honestly. I mean, if you're sniping, this is like the sniper peak right here. Okay, so if you're more of an aggressive player and you want to be in the action all the time, you're going to want to you want to be in the mid section of the map. You're going to want to probably rock with an SMG if you want to be standing out here hanging and banging with these guys at the trucks and the bus. So definitely you want to work your angles here. If you want to defend one side, that's probably the best idea, because running around like a chicken with your head cut off on this map isn't going to work for you. It's too small, it's too action-packed, and it's really easy to get to know. People are going to pick up on you if you're just standing or running around and doing all these crazy things. There's just too many peaks to catch you. So if I were you on this map and you want to be at the mid, definitely rock an SMG. but I would say stick to one side more than the other. And then maybe at halftime, or if you're finding that this one guy just keeps beating you, switch it up, go to the other side, try and run that side of the map. But yeah, no, mid is definitely a challenge for sure, regardless of what gun you have. But I still think it's super fun. Okay, so if I had to pick one gun to use on this map, absolutely the Krig. I mean, you guys know if you've watched my last video, the Krig is my favorite gun in the game by far. So I love to play this map and go on some not massive kill streaks, but maybe like what you see right here, like just some 6s, 7s, maybe not like 8s or 9s in there every once in a while. And I love to use these peaks using some cover, that the little cover that Nuketown has, and actually being able to just take advantage of one side of the map, or just constantly killing people over and over again. It's honestly really fun. I love hearing the death comms of these kids when they are like, oh my god, he got me again. Like that, if you want to be that guy that is just pestering people in these lobbies, definitely I would suggest the Krig. Now, if you want to use, if you want to be that mid person that was using an SMG, I would say either the AK-74U or the MP5. Obviously, those are like the best two SMGs I would say in the game. But for sure, I would rock one of those two if you want to be camping there at the mid. Okay, so we're here on Garrison now, and we're currently doing the route that I take just about every single time I spawn on this side. So what I love to do is I love to get a nice little flash up in here. Say I flash somebody, check it out, and then push through here. Boom. From there, there's typically going to be someone on the opposite side of the bridge here, possibly take them out. But honestly, I like to hold this bridge room every single time when I start out a match. Like it's like a pride thing for me, and it works. I mean, it gets us off to a strong start, and it kind of makes them adjust their game plan, because if they were coming bridge room and that was their plan, and you're able to win that fight, and they can't take it over, they're going to have to adjust and possibly have to push over here to your other teammates who hopefully are locking down left or mid. If you want to peek out, there's probably going to be some snipers in the back here that are going to try and be looking at this bridge and everything. Probably some sniper over here on the left side in that doorway. But yes, that bridge room is awesome, and that's one of my favorite spots on this map. Okay, now on to the next spot that I like to use here. It's honestly just this back mid area. I love rocking the back mid. I'm able to kind of peek out and see all the way towards their back mid, and I have a good peek here that I could use for left lane put people that push. So that's what's good as well. Also, I could see up into the bridge room, and I could kind of move about here. I mean, you could go under the tank, and you could push even closer to them, possibly peek up and see someone camping around this corner. And you could honestly get a nice flank here if they took the bridge room over from you. You can just head right back up, sneak up behind them, and get those kills. But yeah, that is probably my second favorite spot on this map. It's definitely more so pre-aiming and kind of holding your ground. I guess that's similar with the bridge room as well, but yeah, it's a good spot for sure. Now we can push forward onto the left side of the map. So these guys over here, let me wipe them out. There's two different ways you can approach this. Obviously, everyone knows this head glitch right here. It could be a pain in the butt if you're trying to get across here. You could even stick your head out and peek over here towards bridge or the mid tanks, which is where the B flag is. And you can kind of work around here and hopefully stay alive, wipe out a couple before they kind of catch on. Now the other way, if you want to take a look here, is that if we can go on the far left side of the map to these little doorways, And if you're over there for a couple kills and you're kind of annoying them, maybe switch it up and head over to this side of the map, on this far left side, because they're gonna think that you're back there maybe reloading or something. And then you switch it up on them and they're like, oh, where'd he go? That's a good little flank you'd have. Now, if you're feeling really aggressive, you can push all the way up into their spawn through a couple different ways. What you can do, let me wipe this guy out real quick. Maybe not. You can go through the vent right here, and before you get to their spawn, you kind of peek out and see if anybody's in this corner at the back of mid tanks, and then you can come right back around, get a nice little flank on him there. I definitely don't go on the left side of the map as much on Garrison. I kind of stick towards the right side and kind of hold mid as well. But I do think that if I were to go on the left side of the map, I would probably die a bit more. If that's just me being me. But I do think that if you play it right, you can have a monster game on that left side of the map. And as for good guns on this map, the one that I love to rock on this map is definitely the AK. I mean, this is probably, in my opinion, like the hardest hitting assault rifle in this game. On top of that, the fire rate's good. And if you got the right attachments on it, it can do work. It's not going to move too much either. As we know, in the Modern Warfare, that AK is bouncing all over the place, and this AK seems to be fairly stable. So if you are planning on holding one side of the map, for sure, I would suggest the AK. All right, now for our final map of this episode, we are going to be taking a look at Moscow. So a lot of people don't like Moscow as much because they find that they don't do as good as the other maps. But I hope that this will help you here, because I honestly love Moscow. As we see right here, I like to start off, if I spawn on this side, what I'll do is I will toss a stun over this little corner here, and that'll reach to the back left of their spawn. And then I can hop out and see if anybody is camping back there and work my way across to survey that room. From there, what I like to do is I like to go over here to the escalators, take a look down in mid. Depending on what game mode you play, some spots in the map will be a little bit more populated than others. Like for instance, in Search and Destroy, the mid of the map really isn't that popular. But if you're playing something like Domination or Hardpoint, the mid of the map is going to be popping. So you got to make sure that you're able to change up your peaks here. And this is definitely one of the good peaks that we could have taking a look at mid. Another thing we could do is take a look here from the windows at mid and kind of work our way across. Typically, when people are camping in Domination or Hardpoint, they're probably going to be in the corners, or they're going to be playing Ring Around the Rosie with you around the statue here. So one thing that you got to do is you don't want to remain too stagnant. You kind of want to check real quick, get a quick survey, and then move around. This half wall here is definitely popular for people. But yeah, you want to always, in my opinion, keep moving around the mid section of the map, because if you stay still, they're gonna, like you just saw, they're gonna find you and they're gonna get you. I'm gonna show you the opposite perspective of the stairs side of the map over here. So if I'm coming from this spawn, I love to come on this right side, and I like to go down this straight away, all the way to the side of the half wall, and see if I catch anybody running in or on the stairs themselves. Because what they're doing is, like I said earlier, they're thinking, okay, I'm gonna snipe somebody that's standing back here in the back of their spawn. But so a lot of times you can catch 2, 3, maybe even 4 kills right off the jump just from being at this half wall position, which is super good. And it's honestly a confidence booster on this map if you're not feeling this one too much. The street side of the map, this is not as popular as that escalator side of the map. But if you want to be able to like work behind them and maybe pick off a couple people, this is definitely a good route to take. So some people like to camp outside here, so you want to make sure that is clear before you advance.
I make that 20.
And there are going to be some other people probably on this head glitch right here, possibly in the buses. So you're going to want to make sure that you either clear them out, or you could take a different route. You take a different route and go through the building rather than going around the side. And then from here, you can literally take whichever path you desire. You go left all the way around their spawn, or you can come right here next to the fountain and wipe anybody out that's over here at the escalators. If you want to see more cult content, be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you will know exactly when we post our next video.